Hi guys, how are you? Thanks for watching my videos. This is Road Test Buddy. I have a new video for you. This is the Niagara Falls Temporary Drive Test Center. We have a huge backlog of people who are waiting to take their test. So this is another makeshift road test center. It won't be here for long. It's just here to help us deal with the backlog. I'm making a video on this test route for G2. So if you're watching this, follow this video and use it to prep yourself and get yourself ready. The address for the test center is 6080 McLeod Road in Niagara Falls. So you might want to just put that down to make it easy for you to find here. Now you can see a trailer right there. I'm going to zoom it out a bit. Okay, I'm not able to zoom out, so I'll leave it like that. So that white and green trailer sitting right there with the stairs, that is where you're going to be checking in. And you can also see kind of like a rest area there in the middle there, where the guy in the red, the lady in the red or pink jacket is. Basically, that is where your vehicles are going to be parked. We have a spot for up to about 10 cars. So when you come in, you want to make sure you are parked on that side. I recommend you park with your front facing out to make it easy for you when you are starting your road test. So let's begin and see how this looks like here. They have a very generous parking lot, which is in the plaza. So when you come here, there is a lot of space for you to park. Now, I'm going to show some of the businesses around just to make it easy for you guys to recognize this place. We have Service Canada right here. And we have a couple of businesses around as well. Please make sure you visit here ahead of time, probably a day or two, to practice here to get used to the area. All right, so now we are about to start. When the examiner comes in, he's going to do a vehicle check to make sure your vehicle is in good shape. They're going to check your signals to make sure they're both working. They're going to check your brake lights to make sure your brake lights are also working. They're also going to check to make sure that your horn is working. So they will tell you to toot your horn, and then you toot your horn. When you're ready, he will ask you, or she will ask you to drive and begin and pull out to the entrance of the road when safe. So now we are about to pull out. Let's drive when safe. Let's make a left turn here. Before you start, you want to make sure you do complete observation to both sides. Complete observation. You deactivate your foot brake or your parking brake if you have one. If you have a hand brake, make sure that you deactivate before you start your vehicle. And then at the entrance, there is a kind of an island here. You keep to the right hand side of the island. It's for vehicles getting out. There is a sidewalk. Stop before the crosswalk for pedestrians completely. Scan to your left, and then scan to your right hand side as well to make sure there is no pedestrian. If there is no pedestrian, you can now creep to the edge of the road. We're going to make a right turn. This is McLeod. This side of McLeod is not too busy, so the examiner will prefer to make a right turn here. So you pull out to the edge of the road and you scan carefully. When it is safe, you make a right turn. There are two lanes, so when you turn into the immediate right lane. The speed limit here is 50 kilometers. Very soon the examiner will tell you to make a left turn where the car is turning. Please do a lane change to the left when safe. Signal, don't drop your speed too much. Make sure you're doing the speed limit. Do your blind spot check by turning your neck. And then when safe, you move into the lane. So we are about to make a left turn here. This place has no stop signs. You basically treat it like a green light without an advanced arrow. So when you stop here, you want to make sure the two lanes are clear. We can turn now. There was a vehicle in front of us, but it was making a right turn. The other lane was also clear, so we're able to take the turn. But remember, make sure the two lanes are clear and there is no obstruction. We just turned into Alice Street. Now, Alice Street, we'll make a right turn here. So I'm going to be stopping for you guys to see the street names here. So we are currently on, watch the name here, Alice Avenue. The speed limit here is about 40. It's a very short distance, so you're not going to be speeding. And then we're about to make a turn into another one, which is Frontenac Street. So let's make a right turn on Frontenac. It has a stop sign, which is not an all way. So when you stop, please stop behind the sidewalk. And then when it is all safe, you can proceed to make your turn. Alex has a one-way stop sign. He has no line, it has no line, so you stop at the back of the sidewalk. Crosswalk. When safe, you make your turn. And then when you turn and you are on Frontenac, there is a chance it's going to tell you to pull over or do a parallel parking. I'd like you to do a parallel parking with this vehicle. So we pull up to the vehicle. We do a parallel parking with this vehicle. Very good. Now we've squared up with the vehicle, which is on our side here.
You don't turn it.
So we're about to reverse. You do your blind spot. And then when safe, you move back gradually. And then you basically turn your wheels to the right, one rotation. And then as you go, you begin to look at the amount of space you have in the mirror there. And then you adjust your car nicely to fit in 1 foot away from the curb, straight, without hitting the curb. If you want more information on how to do parallel parking, please watch my videos on parallel parking. It's pretty easy and you can all do it. So we are doing the parallel parking. He's creating the gap perfectly, 1 foot away from the curb, and then the gap looks parallel and straight. Once you do that, you just straighten your wheels and you leave the gap like this. And then you park your vehicle. You activate your parking brake. If you have a hand brake, you activate it. If you have a foot brake, you activate it. And then you tell the examiner you're done. Please drive when safe. Now that you're about to drive, deactivate your foot brake or your hand brake and signal to your left. Change your gear as well to drive mode. Do your observations, including blind spot when safe. Turn your wheels out. There is a vehicle coming straight, so we're going to be waiting for the vehicle. And then you can also keep checking your back to make sure there is no vehicle behind you. Good. And then when safe, we do our turn. So we check your blind spot to make sure everything is safe. And then we move nicely. Don't be too close to the vehicle when you're pulling out. So now we're done with parallel parking. We're going to make a right turn onto Atlantis Avenue. Atlantis Avenue. We're making a right turn on Atlantis Avenue. It has a stop sign and it has a sidewalk. So you stop just before the sidewalk, as you can see at the corner there. When you stop, there is a chance you won't see the road well if there is no pedestrian. Please pull up to the edge of the road and make a slight angle of your vehicle so that you are not too far from the curb. Then you scan carefully. When it is safe, you proceed to make your right turn. All right, now when you make your right turn, there is a chance you are not going to be needing a lot of speed. You most likely will be doing around 30 kilometers because the next stop sign is just so close. There are 2 different stop signs, so pay attention carefully. Please take a right turn at this intersection. The first stop here has a line on the floor, and the name of the street is McLeod. It continues on the left-hand side here. So we stop behind the line completely for about 2-3 seconds. You can see there was a pedestrian crossing, and then we scan carefully. When safe, we proceed to make the turn. And then it has a slight bend here. So you bend around and stop behind the sidewalk. Now at this stop sign, there is a line on the floor. So we stop just behind the line. We scan carefully and you can see we can see the intersection better. So what do? We creep forward a little bit with a slight angle towards the curb so we are not too far from the curb. And then basically here you scan to make sure the 2 lanes are clear on McLeod, and then you make a right turn. Now you've successfully made a right turn on McLeod. What do you expect? You are going to be doing 50 kilometers as you're driving. McLeod is 50 kilometers. As you keep driving, check your speed so you don't overspeed. Overspeeding could be a major violation. So check your speed. When you get to intersections, scan into them as you're passing them. The examiners want to see an evidence that you are doing your defensive driving observations. Not everybody stops at the stop sign, so when you get through an intersection, begin to scan. This is the test center right there with the trailer. But we passed it because the examiner still has an agenda. He's not done with you. Now he's going to make you make a turn, but it's going to be after this set of lights. All right. So we're going straight. Now we are at the intersection of McLeod and Drummond. It's 50 kilometers. So we do 50 and then we drive. This side of McLeod is not too busy, so have a bit of fun and check your speed as you're driving. Please take a right turn on Dell Avenue. Dell Avenue is actually the next one, so let's take a right turn on Dell Avenue, which is the next one. So Dell Avenue is the second street when we go past the traffic intersection. We do our blind spot just in anticipation of our turn, and make sure you are not too slow when you are turning and you turn smoothly. When you turn, please don't turn wide into the middle of the intersection, into the middle of the street. Turn into your right hand side so you don't go too much into the street. Now over here, there is a chance the examiner is going to be checking some few things. Take a right turn here when safe. So we are making a right turn onto Hawkins. Please pull over when safe. The examiner may let you make a right turn on Hawkins, or they may let you make a right turn on Arad Street. I chose Hawkins. So now we made a right turn on Hawkins, Hawkins. He could have also gone to the next street to make the turn there. Now when you pull over now, he may check either your uphill parking or your downhill parking skills. I'm going to be telling the student here to make a downhill parking, which means you have to turn your wheels all the way to the right. So turn the wheels all the way to the right for downhill parking. Just do your observations one more time. And then we move a little bit until we touch the curb. So let's move forward until your wheels touch the curb. When you do a downhill parking, you move forward to touch the curb. Very good. Now we've touched the curb, so we can go ahead and park our vehicle. You change your gear to park. You activate your handbrake or your foot brake. And then you tell the examiner you are done. You want to revise your notes or practice on uphill and downhill parking. There are different types. You want to know how to do each and every one of them. Now we are going to get back to the road and drive. Please drive when safe. Deactivate your foot brake or your hand brake. Change your gear to drive mode. And without moving, straighten your wheels by turning it 1.5 rotation to the opposite side. And turn on your signals to show people that you are getting back to the road. And then as you move, be gentle and slow so you don't hit the curb. And then drive when safe. All right. There is a park right here. This park could be helpful as a landmark. It is called Prince Charles Park. I'd like you can see the name right here. This is Prince Charles Park. We are making a left turn here to go into Pope Avenue. So make a left turn here. Very good. We are currently on Pope Avenue. The examiner could choose to do a 3-point turn here, but I just like you to make a right turn at this corner here. This whole neighborhood here is neighborhood driving, so your speed limit is generally around 30-40 kilometers depending on the distance. Please pull over when safe. Do your blind spot when you're pulling over, and pull over 1 foot away from the curb without hitting the curb. And straighten your wheels and then tell the examiner you are done. So when you do the pullover, remember to leave it in drive mode. It's about to lead to something else. Please demonstrate a 3-point turn. So with 3-point turn, first signal to your left. Do your blind spot to both sides. Turn the wheels all the way to the left if possible without moving. If you're moving, you want to make sure you're not moving too fast. After turning, do your blind spot again by turning your neck to your left-hand side. There's nobody coming. You can proceed to make your turn. So we move slowly. And as you move forward, a lot of people like to use their bumper to analyze where to stop. You want to make sure your tire gets a bit closer to the curb without hitting, about 1 foot away or 2 foot away from the curb. So we're going to go forward a little bit more. Good. Now when we stop, we turn the wheels all the way to the right hand side, but you want to make sure you change your gear just so you don't forget. So change your gear first to reverse mode, and then turn the wheels all the way to the right. Turn on your signal as well all the way to the right since your steering went to the right. Do your blind spot check as you're moving back. You must know where your wheels are in the back of your car. Normally your wheels are at the corners of your back door. So check your curbs and make sure as you're moving, you're checking your blind spots to both sides. So move back slowly. We check our blind spots to the left, blind spots to the right, blind spot to the left. Good. Blind spot. Good. Now we have enough gap to move, and you want to make sure you don't touch the curb. And then we change our gear to drive mode, signal to the left hand side, do our observations by checking to our right. If there's nobody, we turn our wheels, and then we move gradually into our new space, and then we move into the right hand side of the lane. So this is 3-point turn. You want to make sure you get some practice time on 3-point turn before you do your road test. You don't want to hit a curb, and you want to do your blind spots and turn on your signal. We're going to make a right turn back on Pope Avenue. There is a stop sign, there is no line, but we got a sidewalk, so we stop just before the sidewalk completely. We check for pedestrians. Since there is no pedestrian, we get to creep forward with a slight angle to the right, so we can be able to analyze and scan the intersection properly. When it is safe, we go ahead and we make our right turn. And remember, this park here is Prince Charles Park. They normally will bring you around this area to do your 3-point turn. That is a signage right there in the board. We'll make a right turn here on Arad. So Arad is also another option. If the examiner did not let you turn before Prince Charles, he will let you turn on Arad Street and bring you to the same place. So we stop behind the sidewalk. There is nobody crossing, so we creep forward to scan the intersection, and then when safe, we make a right turn. We make a right turn when safe. We are still in the neighborhood. The main roads here are McLeod, Drummond. If you're not yet there, you want to make sure you are doing your 40 kilometers if the gap is long. We're going to make a right turn to connect back to Drummond. Now, Drummond Road is 50 kilometers. This is Drummond Road and Arad Street. We stop behind the line as we have a line on the floor. If there is no pedestrian crossing from your left to right or right to your left, creep forward with a slight angle to help you see the intersection well. And it's a main road, so we want to make sure the traffic on the left is clear, as you can see, and then we proceed to turn. And then as you turn, this is pretty much the only traffic light you are getting for the entire road test for your G2. We are currently at the intersection now. Scan to your left and right without stepping on your brakes, and then you proceed. There is another intersection coming up. Scan to your left and right. This is Hawkins without stepping on your brake. We're going to make a left turn here. Signal, do a blind spot check to your left before creeping into the lane. Most of the time, you're going to get just a green without an arrow at this light of Drummond and McLeod. If you are the first car, you creep forward as the vehicle has done. If you are not the first car, don't follow too closely. If the light remains green and you are behind the line, you can creep forward. As you can see, the light went from green to yellow. We didn't creep forward because we are behind the line. If you've crossed the line, you will need to finish the turn safely. Remember, practice your left turns and right turns at traffic intersections. We're currently waiting for the light to turn. This is Drummond Road, and we are about to make a left turn from Drummond Road to go into McLeod, which is very close to the test center. There is a landmark on the left to just help you know which side we came from. On the far left corner there, that is a 7-Eleven gas station. There is a vehicle in front of us as we are waiting. This vehicle is making a right turn. So there is a chance that when he's making a right turn, you can also proceed to make your left turn. You are not affecting each other. It's also a single lane from the other side facing us ahead. So if the first two vehicles or the first vehicle is turning, you can quickly make your left turn, but just observe carefully and make a safe lane change, make a safe turn. We'll creep forward. He's turning, so we can quickly sneak around and make our turn since this driver is not coming straight. Remember, it's also a 1 lane. Now we've turned into McLeod, it's 2 lanes. Chain lane to the right when safe. Signal, do your blind spot. If there is a vehicle in your blind spot, let him pass. When he passes, you can do your lane change as we did with this one. And then here, the examiner will tell you to make a right turn. And as you're turning, the entrance is pretty bumpy. So slow down and take a left turn here. So now we've entered the plaza. You can see Palazzo Beauty Salon right there. And then we have Service Canada. And basically what happens is just going to park. All right, so we scan carefully and then we can just park in this spot right here. So basically this is it, and you straighten your wheels, you check around to make sure you're properly fitting in the spot. That is it. So guys, this is the G2 test route for Niagara Falls temporary drive test center. I hope this video helps you. There was only one traffic in the section we made a turn, and that was when we were returning after we did our parallel parking 3-point turn. It is pretty easy and it's not too busy. You could definitely pass your road test if you do a couple of practice. Remember, do a bit of practice. Do a lot of practice. More practice is better than less practice. And I wish you all the best with your road test. If you have any questions, you can drop them in the comment section. I'll do my best to answer them. Share this video to help somebody. If you're having a difficulty picking the test center in the Niagara region, please consider the Niagara Falls temporary road test center. It is not too busy. There is only one vehicle sitting there waiting for an examiner to pick them. That means that this place is pretty not busy compared to the other test centers. Thank you for watching Road Test Buddy. Share the video with your friends so we can encourage people to prepare for road tests. Bye-bye.